Hello everyone, I am minoxen, and this is going to be the UNGL Nations Cup Game 3 matchup between Sweden and Spain. Currently we are matched up, or well I should say even up here at 1-1 for both teams. So looking forward to this matchup here. I am going to be doing a solo cast, so hopefully you guys can bear with me, as we did have On a Prayer have to go ahead and leave, but I am going to go ahead and power through, man up, and do this cast. We do see the bans are currently already out. I will touch on those in just a second, but I wanted to say thank you all so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/minoxen. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Be sure to like, favorite videos. If you really like them, go ahead and favorite them. If you like them, make sure to hit that like button. It makes them a little bit easier to find on YouTube, etc. It just helps out. So that being said, I do want to go ahead and move on into this matchup, Spain and Sweden. So far, we've seen a good back and forth battle of the wills here. Team Spain, in fact, did take game number 1, followed up by Team Sweden taking game 2, of course, which leaves us here at game 3. The bans are out, and they are as follows. We had Ake from Team Sweden ban Parasite, which was followed up by Jeremiah, Tempest, the Dark Lady, Tundra, Nymphora, Kraken, and sorry, that was my phone. Kraken and Plague Rider. So, of course, we are going to see some of those are reactionary bans from this last game. We see the Jeremiah ban, we see the Dark Lady ban. I don't really know that they had to go ahead and go with the Dark Lady ban on there. They got rid of Jeremiah. He was the big factor in that last game. Really feel like he was the one that set him up for such a powerful game there towards the end. Not so much the Dark Lady. Of course, the Dark Lady was doing damage, but, you know, she's kind of like a Mage Bane in that regard, which we do see Mage Bane is not banned this time around after he had a strong performance in Game 1, was banned for Game 2, now allowing him to come back in here. Do we see, yeah, Tundra was also banned. Tundra being banned all 3 of these games so far, no one wanting to allow that pickup. We also see Kraken being banned continually for this entire series. I also want to give a shout out to Macro Hard. Sorry, my handwriting's horrible. Macro Hard has on the forums there. If you watched the last cast, you already know about this. But if you're interested in win ratios of heroes and pick rates and things like that for DreamHack Winter 2011, go ahead and check that out in the competitive forums. It's really informative, really neat to know. And just one interesting tidbit, I guess, from last game, is that in DreamHack Winter, Jeremiah, which was a contributing factor in that last game, had 20 bans against him. He was picked 11 times, which means that during the entire tournament, he was seen 66% of the time, either as a ban or a pick. And unfortunately, he only won 45% of the matches he was in, so pretty much a coin flip. But the teams are picked out here. We have Team Sweden on the Legion side here, all picked out. We have Ophelia, Magnus, Valkyrie with the new Fallen Valkyrie avatar, Torturer, and Midas. So seeing some returns from game number 1 here, seeing some returns from game number 2. As the Hellborn, we have Polywog Priest, Legionnaire, Myrmidon, Mage Bane, that's no big surprise, and Pharaoh. That Cleopatra face throwing me off horribly. So, going to go ahead and scroll down here, see if anything interesting has happened. No, it looks like the game is going to be proceeding here shortly. So yeah, we see the Legionnaire brought back from game number 1 in favor of Spain. A nicely done Legionnaire strat there. They really tried hard to stop it from Team Sweden. They were all over Spain, making sure that that Legionnaire did not get farm. Had a really powerful Zephyr play. Zephyr was actually not banned in game 2 or 3. I'm not really sure why they didn't necessarily go with him. I mean, he had such a strong presence in game 1. I would have suspected they would have gone with him again, but they did lose game 1, Team Sweden that is, so maybe they just weren't feeling the utmost confident about it. As I'm now receiving texts from whoever that was, I probably denied on my phone just a little bit ago, so. But I'm going to finish this cast out. I don't want to get distracted. As, yeah, so what do we have going here? We have the Ophelia, which was banned this last game, but they did go ahead and allow her to slip through this time around. She was a pretty strong presence, as we are going to see Legionnaire going up to the top jungle, Mage Bane going to that top lane as well for a nice bit of farm. Farm Mage Bane is a deadly Mage Bane, as we've seen many times here. And actually, one of the other things, looking back at my statistics sheet here, I'll just go ahead and click on Mage Bane and follow. as I look at Magebane here. He was in one of the top percentages. Where did he get to? And I am just not doing... Oh, okay, yeah, he's number 4 there. He had an 87% play rate in DreamHack 2011. He was banned 32 times, picked up 9 times, and out of those 9 games, he won 56% of the time. 5 wins, 4 losses. So not a huge win ratio. But, I mean, just looking at that ban ratio there, that is absolutely insane. And it really goes to show how dangerous a Magebane can be if you let him get away with that farm. And they are going to be sending... Well, they may be moving around here a little bit. They got the Poliwag Priest going to be going mid. Magebane lining up to maybe go with him, as they're going to send Pharaoh to the top lane solo, and Myrmidon, Magebane bottom? Oh, these people, they love to get me. As we're going to have to see this time, are they going to go for the really heavy counter Legionnaire strat this time? Are they going to go up? You see Magnus making his way up here. Will they go ahead and try and get the counter on this camp? No. Going ahead and continuing on through. Does get the pull camp blocked, which is not going to allow them to pull creeps into the lane. And Magnus probably going to go ahead and sit here at the 30-second mark and force the fail spawn on this. Very unfortunate. I don't know why Legionnaire is not trying to do something about it. There we go. Going to go ahead and move around now, as the 30-second spawn will not come up, forcing Legionnaire to go ahead and try one of these medium camps if available at the next time around. Oh, and nice placement from this ward here. Actually, also, it seems to have blocked that spawn there. So, Legionnaire going to be very, very short on creeps to hunt here, as he does have a Skeleton King set up here. He can use that. This Minotaur is not going to work for him at all. Not going to be very easy to go with. As Ophelia, having a good time here, has her Vagabond leader getting off to a nice start. Magnus trying to keep this Legionnaire at bay, trying to keep him busy. We're going to see Midas and Pharaoh lining up in the top lane to duke it out one-on-one. As apparently, Legionnaire finally asking Magnus, the Giftig there, to leave him alone. I don't think that Giftig is that concerned with how Legionnaire feels about it, but it looks like he is going to leave him alone and try and set up a gank on this middle lane. Will they get it? Here comes Poliwag Priest running down and away from his tower, so he doesn't get stunned from Magnus, but he is going to get stunned just a little bit longer. Almost so close. There it is. Lands the stun coming out from Torturer as well, and now will Poliwag Priest go down? The Hex coming out onto Magnus, trying to stop the death, and the taunt is actually going to prevent them from getting the kill. Will the Pharaoh, there's the Tormented Soul cast from Pharaoh, will it be able to land on his own teammate? I don't think so. So, yeah. Oh, man. Look at me. I'm so pro looking at the Tormented Soul go on cooldown. I'm like, oh, they're going for the snipe. Wait a minute. That's a Pharaoh on their team. So, yeah, good for them picking that Pharaoh to counter the old Pharaoh Tortured Soul snipe. So, oh, I love solo casts, as I'm sure you guys enjoy them as well, and hopefully I'll keep you entertained throughout. As Magnus got his mana pot knocked off there, does have a haste, doing a lot of work onto Legionnaire. I don't know that Legionnaire is going to be able to get out of here, but yes, Cleopatra is going to scare him off, as Cleopatra coming at you will scare most guys away, and Magnus going to be one of them, with another mana pot going to try and keep Legionnaire from getting any effective farm at all. Still has the option here of those Skeleton Warriors, but not going to be able to get to it just yet. Meanwhile, back at the ranch at the bottom lane, we do see Magebane and Myrmidon in this bottom lane facing off against the Valkyrie. And, I don't think that they're going to be too super effective against Valkyrie, and it's, she is level 4 here. She does have her Courageous Leap and all that other fun stuff to keep her from getting, taken down. But, yeah, she'll hopefully be able to eke out some good farm there, since she is ranged in this lane, and should be able to do something about that. Middle lane, we are going to see Poliwag Priest getting gone on once again. This time, he is not going to be delayed with the taunt on the kill there. Giftig actually getting that kill, going up to level 2 now, as Legionnaire did go ahead and finally get to this skeleton camp. Or did he? What did he get? Wow, no, he just did the little camp. Wow, that hurted them that bad. That is not good. Legionnaire with no regen now, not able to find any creeps. No, you're not going to find any creeps there, buddy. Sorry. As they are just really, really on top of this Legionnaire. Bottom lane, speaking of, her doing okay, nearly got a kill out onto Magebane, but Valkyrie does go down. Ophelia not quite able to make it in time for the backup, and I am going to need a drink of water. That is sustenance. And one thing I want to talk about here just a little bit is these Ward of Sights. I really enjoy these Ward of Sights here. This is a nice placement from the Hellborn to watch out for the Ophelia ganks. They know they have an Ophelia. Placing the ward there as a support is a really good idea. Usually I'll place it just a little bit next to that. No big gripes there. It still gets vision of the rune and all that. It actually gives you pretty nice coverage here. As we heard the arrow land, not going to land on a hero though, unfortunately. And Magnus going to go ahead and roam his way back out of here. Maybe try and head to middle and set something up there. We do have also another Hellborn ward placed tucked into these trees. It does not give them any vision, and they know that the creeps were blocked, but it's going to take them just that little bit more effort to get that countered, and they're not, you know, you've got a Valkyrie down here. She's not going to be pulling for herself. Mostly you're screwing with this Ophelia, which could pull for her and could help her out, but not going to see that just so far. As Midas, level 5, coming into the woods here, going to get a nice early kill here on this Legionnaire, possibly. Look at the work Legionnaire doing with those extra spins. I don't think he's going to be able to magic his way out of this, as the dance around the tree has begun, and Midas will win in the battle of the dance, taking down that Legionnaire, messing with him just that little bit more, since I think everyone's kind of on the same page now, realizing, oh, he gets turned to coins, realizing that Legionnaire, like I said in game number, I believe it was 1, that Legionnaire is one of those forces to be reckoned with, and if he can get farm, he can be such a huge turnaround hero in those big team fights, and he was in game 1. They actually let him get his farm back. He came back in there, landed a nice taunt, grabbed 3 people, had his barbed armor up, and did just plain work on the Legion team, and was able to turn that fight around for them and allow Magebane to get a few extra of those kills and continue his awesome farm. Speaking of farm, we're about 6 minutes into the game so far. Let's look at that gold per minute tab, as we are going to see Torturer leading the pack here on the gold per minute tab, as he's going to be coming up here for potential gank onto Poliwag. No, Magnus says, nah, I'm just not going to go ahead and bother. You're too far behind, Tort. You should have been paying attention. But Torturer sitting at 274 gold per minute. A respectable farm by most any means, as Pharaoh going to be sitting, Lolquap actually, for Team Spain there, sitting at 253 gold per minute, Magebane following closely behind, and then it kind of tapers off from there, whereas the Legion seems to be doing pretty good on the gold farm. They do have a minor lead right now, about 800 gold total, but at this point in the game, really no huge advantage in either team's sway. Legionnaire trying to get some more of his farm belt back up here, does have this, gonna go for the stack, pulling that at 53 seconds, as you should, to be able to get this to go ahead and spawn a second camp. There we go, and it's Skeleton King and Warrior and the Vagabonds, so that is about as good as a camp that Legionnaire could ask for, to be able to go ahead and nom 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 down. And we will go ahead and switch from that to this tab, because I prefer this tab mostly. Back out the camera just a couple pegs, since that gives me just a little bit extra coverage area. Okay, let's look and see who is winning this top lane so far. We've seen some movement from Midas, we've seen some movement from Pharaoh, making their presence known elsewhere. What is Pharaoh's farm at currently? Pharaoh is sitting at 26 creep kills and 5 denies, 1-0 so far. Midas coming in here to try and find this Legionnaire once again, messing with his head. Midas actually sitting at 1-1-0 at 23-8, so a little bit behind on Pharaoh as far as creep kills, but the denies help make up for that, and you know, he does have a death under his belt, which doesn't help. But you know, also trying to keep that Legionnaire down, so that's a big part of his job right now, and doing that is paramount. As we're going to see, I don't know what exactly Myrmidon is going for here. She did back up a little bit, trying to bait this Magnus into something so she can set it up for Magebane. But Ophelia coming around the bend. Will she be able to get the kill off? Yes, a stomp coming out onto Magebane there, as a nice ward trap coming out onto Torturer. That will be enough for the kill there. Poliwag Priest dancing around on the outside edge there, not going to be going down. As Legionnaire deciding to go ahead and back it on up, as he ought to. And oh, so unfortunate, as Pharaoh does come in at the last second. Going to be caught here by this combination of Ophelia and Valkyrie, taking a lot of damage, but not going to be going down. Actually coming back in with the ultimate onto that Valkyrie. A stomp from the Minotaur. Nice micromanagement there coming out from Ophelia. Going to be able to stop that from going down, but unfortunately the fish is enough of a slap in the face to finish off Valkyrie. And we are going to end up with that being a net gain of a couple deaths, I think, pretty much on each team. I think that the Legion lost out for the most part on that, but we do see the gold and experience farm on the Legion is superior still yet, so maybe not so much. And Myrmidon playing a little gutsy here, trying to get away from this Magnus. Gonna be able to do so as Magebane not doing too bad. What is Magebane's current creep farm at? He is currently 25-7, so not quite as well as Pharaoh was doing up at top. But speaking of top, we do have Midas now level 8, getting that solo farm while Pharaoh was gone. Legionnaire coming in for a grab. No, not going to go ahead and grab, as he didn't have the creep wave following too closely behind. But forcing that Midas back just a little bit. But as he goes to the jungle here to farm, he might find a bit of a surprise if he goes for it. Now, you just saw the missile fly over them. Why would you go charging into this? As I don't know if Valkyrie was spotted by that, but Midas most certainly was. As faking the arrow out. Oh, and then ultimately going to throw it for a complete and total miss instead of waiting for the Midas transmute. There we go. The damage going to go out anyways as the call of the Valkyrie was used. Pharaoh and Magebane were on their way. I can only imagine that I guess that they didn't spot them or what on that. But Midas should go down here if Pharaoh... There we go. Oh, Pharaoh misses his ultimate, not going to be getting out of the jungle there healthily. Does go down to the call of the Valkyrie. Torture going to be following it up, as well as Polywog Priest and Magebane backing out now. So 2 deaths on the Legion team and 1 death for the Hellborn. So Pharaoh dropping for the Hellborn. Lolquop there going a little bit gutsy, not able to land his ultimate. If he landed that ultimate, he probably would have made it out alive. Cannot say for sure, but I'm going to put my 25 cents there. As Tort and, well, Midas was pretty much just he was not getting out of that situation. As nice presence of mind there for the double stack, going out to try and help Legionnaire get his farm back up. Does have a triple stack here. He'll be able to farm that down in no time. Gonna go for this quick little small creep camp here. Gonna pick that up as he is level 6, a little bit behind in levels, not quite as high up as Ophelia, but Ophelia not being countered nearly as hard. Gonna be a while before Legionnaire gets back into this game. And, yeah, I guess now we're going to see middle initiation going out. Polywog Priest getting going on. Oh, the transmute fails miserably. Midas missing everything. Will Ophelia be able to micro those creeps to be able to get a stomp off? Torturer's here. They should be able to get a kill. There's 4 heroes on 1. There's the Pharaoh's Tortured Soul. They're trying to spam him out, but wow, he gets a little bit of a body block. Polywog Priest gets trapped. And, yeah, that's going to be a kill in favor of the Legion. Midas escaping just ever so narrowly. Myrmidon doing likewise. As, unfortunately, no, that is not going to hit Midas. Just a little bit short there. As I take a drink from my water, just as that Cleopatra is chugging down that bottle. Nice Tormented Soul there, as that does just a little bit of damage. Not going to really hurt those 3 Minotaurs too much. Nice work here from, I got to give a shout out to him. Ake, of course. It's got to be Ake. Getting that nice Minotaur micromanagement under control there, landing stuns and stuff. Was not able to do it just then. He tried. Wasn't quite able to land it, but got to give him credit. Ophelia is one of those heroes that is so difficult to master and not really the most entertaining to play. So kudos to him for manning up, as we are going to see Magnus come in on this bottom, and they're trying to push the defensive tower down. Don't know that it's going to... Yeah, it probably should go down since Myrmidon's the only one responding to it. They only have a couple creeps left, but will they knock it down into deniable range? No, they do stop just short of that, thankfully, to keep the Myrmidon who is waiting for that to finish that up, as we are going to see another creep wave come forward, and they should go for the tower kill. And that they do. Actually, we have Era picking up the kill on that with the Valkyrie there. Nice last hitting on the tower. And Magebane has cycled up top now to face off against a Midas. So, you know, Magebane not really trying to keep up in that farm all that well yet. As he does have a Legionnaire coming in. Does get the call off. Oh, but it doesn't matter. He does go back to try and attack on him as he had the call effectively on him. But the disjoint power of that Elemental Warp just way too much. Able to get him out of harm's way as Magebane gonna dodge. There we go. Nicely done there. I was only expecting that he would dodge that since he hadn't used his blink yet. But the transmute goes blatantly out all over his face, tanking him down so much. Middle we see Torturer go down to the Pharaoh's soul. Yeah, tormented soul, not corrupted soul. As Polywog Priest also going down there, unfortunately, to the Ophelia and creeps. So yeah, 1 for 1. Torturer going down in exchange for Polywog Priest. I'm not sure who is going to be the next victim here, but Magnus should be able to line up a nice stun. Oh, look at the presence of mind from that Magebane, blinking away the way he did there to dodge that nicely, and leaving them with nothing left to go for, as Midas does go ahead and TP out. So let's go ahead and, we are 14 minutes into this game. Let's go ahead and peek back into the gold per minute tab. We have 320 gold per minute onto Valkyrie, which is about to... No! Does not land the arrow. 4.5 second. That imp is going to be feeling that in the morning. So unfortunate for him. I don't know that that his health savings account is going to cover that, but he could try. You know, if he's got the right provider, it might be covered, as Magnus's death is most certainly not, as he got caught completely out. And what do we have going here? Okay, I was looking at the gold per minute tab. Sorry, I get distracted at times, especially when I don't have a co-caster to rein me in. Get me back on topic. As we're going to see Valkyrie now at the top of the pack, 319 gold per minute. Magebane still hovering around the 250. He really hasn't managed to increase his farm yet. How many times has he gone down here? Has he died really that much? He's 2, 1, and 3, so not really the most effective harass on him yet, so I'm not really exactly sure why he hasn't been able to make more of his time farming yet, as we do go ahead and see all of the Hellborn team pretty much right at about the 200 gold per minute mark. I mean, Magebane's leading the pack there a bit, but definitely things looking a lot better for this Legion team so far, as they have almost a 5,000 gold lead and a 3,000 experience lead currently. And look at, wow, taking so much harass from this Valkyrie. Magnus with his stride on, striding gallantly into battle, trying to find Magebane, not going to be able to do so. Does back it out, waiting for some backup. There we go. Torturer will be back up. That's good enough. We can stun lock that Magebane. If he sticks around, that is, of course. But no, he's going to ruin their fun. Going to go back up to the tower where it's nice and safe and sound, where these 5 Legion teammates are all about to jump him. So yeah, if I were Magebane right about now, I'd be blinking back out of lane. There we go. Gonna go ahead and abandon his poor lane mate, Myrmidon. I'm sure that he will be overcome with grief and try and do something, but no. Does go ahead and play the smart move and backs out. Unlike many who, you know, sometimes you gotta leave that man behind. It's so hard to do, but you gotta leave him behind so that way you can make it out. As Magebane does go ahead and blink away before the stun comes out from Magnus. Magnus waiting to try and land another one. The ward's coming out. Are they going to be able to get the ward trap onto Magnus? No, he doesn't get the tongue tied out. Magnus going to make it into the steam bath. Magebane going down. 1 second arrow going to finish the job there. Midas going down as well. All kinds of chaos going on here. The Magnus ultimate coming out now. Excellent weed field there to save this Pharaoh with the haste. But wow, such a big team fight going out in favor of the Legion. There's a little bit of an edge towards the Hellborn. That'll help. But, you know, really looking back on that, you gotta... I don't know what they could necessarily do differently, but this Legion team is so much more lined up for the early to mid game. And you've got this Legionnaire who is really gimped on his farm. He's only gotten his phase boots. You know, he's holding off on the Helm of the Black Legion so far. Hasn't really gotten enough good farm to go ahead and get that Helm of the Black Legion. You don't really have to have that helm unless you're going to be doing lots of triple stacks of hard camps, or doing the Ancients, or getting some really cool you know, initiations off. But he's not really to that point in the game yet, so I can understand why he's not going for that helm yet. He is trying to farm up a bit. What is he sitting on currently? 577 gold. That last piece of Black Helm can be such a pain to try and work towards, especially when you've been gimped as hard as he has. He's 0, 3, and 4, really trying to have to fight for every bit of creep kill that he gets. Oh no, and I'm now out of water, so I may be ruined. But gonna try and keep coverage on this as best as I can. I don't know what Polly was doing there. Really should not have been there. This Legion team has complete control of this game so far. They've got a really nice lineup that lends themselves to being really mobile, being able to get out there and do lots and lots of burst damage quickly with the Magnus. You know, Valkyrie with the call. You've got the push power of Ophelia. it's just all not lining up too well here for this Hellborn team. They do have the poly wards to be able to throw it, but he really hasn't had much of an opportunity to do so. He's gotten a couple of good ward traps out, but no tongue-tied to follow it up. I don't think that most of the times he's thrown it, he's actually gotten the completed kill, and I think it's all been defensively done so far. As we do see, yes, 1, 2, 3 of the exterior towers for the Legion are still up and standing. This Hellborn team completely and totally backpedaling now, as they have to try and get some of this farm built back up, but the Legion team, unlike in game number 1, are not going to allow them to do it. They are going to keep on this Legionnaire, they're going to keep on Magebane, and just try and hold these guys down on the dirt and tell them that they can't get up. As that clearly seems to be what's going on here, as the, I can only imagine they're going to be lining up for a push here on this middle tower, possibly bottom to go and finish that guy out. Since this middle one doesn't have any damage, but they're already here in middle, why not go ahead and go for it, since it looks like they are distracted at this bottom lane. There we go. They're going to be making the move in here. Torture going to be throwing the Impale up any second now, I would foresee. There we go. I was going to make sure he hadn't just used it or something. As the Hellborn team does come back from that bottom lane, it is going to be too late to be able to do anything, though, as we're going to see Midas come up on the backside of these guys, and he's not going to pay for it one iota, as all of the Hellborn team has evacuated the vicinity, and Pharaoh may be in a big spot of trouble here. I don't know that he's going to be able to make it out of there. He does get a nice grab off onto Midas, but Midas getting the heal from Ophelia will be just fine, and Pharaoh getting completely caught out, not going to be able to follow up with anything. Oh, a nice poly ward trap there going out onto Ophelia. The Valkyrie Invis has used a push stick onto Ophelia, 2 push sticks. She will be able to make it out of this if she can manage to get away from that Magebane, who is so completely distracted right now. As wow, look at this Magebane, not able to finish off a single hero on the Legion team so far. Midas getting that heal up from Ophelia, still standing around in the background, waiting for an opportunity to get some more damage out. Polywog Priest gonna go down. Magebane gets caught in the stun, goes down to the Valkyrie, and that should be a very, very big nail in the coffin of this Hellborn team as... wow, yep, there's the stun coming out from Magnus. The follow-up from the no HP Midas. And there we go. A royal thrashing, as the announcer pack says. That was a thorough and good smashing, I must say. So, wow. Looking back on that, they really, if they were going to not go in on them while they were split up and they knew Midas was bottom, then they really shouldn't have came to here. They should have just gone ahead and backed up. Pharaoh was the last man in there, did not really have a good way out. Unfortunately, had to try and dodge the arrow coming in, had to dodge everything else, was stuck there. The Hellborn team came back in, decided they were going to try and fight at the tower. They did have a tower, so it wasn't the worst decision in the world, but they were already down a man. So since you're already down a man, you nearly had Midas killed, but the Ophelia heal meant that he was going to be able to wait until he could get a good moment to come back in, and he did. He got another kill off the backside of that, and ultimately proved to be the demise of the Hellborn team. Not horrible play there, but really just I gotta give credit to Team Sweden here on this Legion side. Really keeping the pressure up. We're 22 minutes into this game, and there are no exterior towers remaining. They did go ahead and clean this one up, and then they made their way down here for this gank, sweeping over and finishing off the Hellborn in that last big genocide, or near genocide, I guess. But, yeah, definitely not going well for Team Spain here, as they have to win this game if they're hoping to win, as it is currently tied up 1-1, but Sweden playing their hearts out, wanting to win for the motherland, if that's what they call Sweden. As Magnus coming over here, going to be helping out on Polly, I should say. The ward trap, once again, used in a defensive manner. I don't like that. He's not being able to use it offensively at all. I mean, it's not his fault, it's just... you know, he was caught out, way out there again, yet again, going down. They torture and impale onto this Legionnaire. Unfortunately, he's the only one standing there. Midas getting out a nice transmute. Going to be able to stop this Legionnaire in his tracks. They should be able to DPS him down. They do have Pharaoh trying to play interference. Magnus lining up a big ultimate. Going to do tons of damage to Pharaoh. Oh, no. There goes Pharaoh. And, wow. Myrmidon, what are you doing, bro? He sacrificed himself. Why are you not the other direction completely? Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, big, you know, you got to give it up to Team Sweden here. They have really been playing well. They've been playing so offensive, not repeating the mistake that they made in Game 1. Game 1, we saw the Legionnaire get his farm built back up, which they have, you know, Legionnaire's got a little bit. He's got his Black Helm, he's got his Mystic Vestments, but they're not going to let this game go long enough for him to get really built. Magebane, same story. They're not going to let him get that farm built up like he did last time, and that shouldn't hit anyone at that awkward angle. But really, really good choice here to go ahead and go in. I don't know what the Hellborn are hoping to do here. The Poly Wards are down for another 18 seconds. They are not going to go and try and defend this, even though the Magmus is down in the middle. They would be one man down. They maybe would have a good chance. Magebane sitting down here farming, trying to get this tower. They are surrendering this entire top rack set. I do not understand this whatsoever, as Legionnaire are going to be going down as he comes back in. The old ants go marching one by one strategy never really seems to pan out all that well. A beautiful disjoint, nicely done there from Valkyrie, using the Geometer's Bane to split right before the fish slapped her in the face. And that should be a pretty hardcore GG. There we go. That's not cricket. As we do see Team Spain tap out of this best-of-3 series, 2 games to 1. We have Sweden as your victor. The very... As I called it in Game 1, I called them a stacked team because, hey, these are all recognizable names. There's no one on that team that you are not going to recognize if you watch competitive HON at all. So, very sad day for Spain here, as I think that now they are a little bit behind in the points versus Sweden, but we are still in the group stage, so there may still be hope for them left. We'll just have to see how this pans out in the end. I'll have to go and look at the brackets and try and get a little bit of an update here. But I have been minoxen, solo casting this match. My throat is starting to get a little tender since I ran out of water some time ago. But I hope you all enjoyed this presentation, and I will catch you guys next time.